The Demon Realm raid team gathers at the entrance of the Demon Realm. The members are chosen based on things other than class, which is the only reason Seo Gangrim is there. Everyone's abilities are decided based on their destinies. Seo Gangrim hates the idea of destiny. A new member approaches him trying to be friendly. When a fellow member reveals to the newbie who he just talked to, the newbie begins to panic. Seo Gangrim is said to have murdered his own teammates and stolen their powers. Rumors were spread that in his fate, death is written everywhere. The truth is that his ability is to take some power from his dead opponents, and even then, it contributes to his karma. The destiny classes are split into 5, with the highest class being divine and the lowest insectal, and each class is split into 3 grades. Seo Gangrim's class is the lowest possible class anyone could have, tertiary insectal grade. He is unable to kill and awaken due to his low power. He has never killed nor stolen a destiny from a corpse. Yu Hurang invites him to a dinner party after the annihilation mission. Jang Tae-hun also insists that Seo Gangrim goes. However, Seo Gangrim already suspects he will be treated badly by members of other sects and says he won't go. Yu Hurang doesn't give up though and says she will hurt anyone that attempts to mistreat him. They get interrupted and called to their positions by Kang Do-yun. Seo's friends return while Kang asks Seo to take care of himself. Seo responds that he is at the back and there is no danger. Kang is not reassured but still accepts it and leaves. Seo can't accept it though, as he wishes to fight the side Kang. There is an announcement that the mission will soon begin. Seo Gangrim's responsibility is to take care of leftover demons at the back. As the strongest monsters appear, the front groups enter and attack, while everyone at the back waits. Soon, Sogwis are summoned and the back groups prepare for battle. There are more demons than expected and Seo struggles to breathe. He wants to leave, but a demon hits him and he falls to the ground. As he loses control and begs for help, a green light annihilates all the demons around him. It is Shin Sua, the Flying Tiger sect mistress. The boss arrives, however, the boss gets sliced in half. A woman appears and while the fighters try to understand what happened, she demands to see Seo Gangrim. To make a point, the unnamed woman raises her sword and declares that as long as Seo Gangrim is there, she will kill them all. A woman appears demanding to see Seo Gangrim. He is shocked that she killed the boss all by herself and that she is looking for him. By using his power he finds out her destiny and class, which are extremely powerful. He is stunned as he has never seen a primary divine grade in real life. More than that, her ability is to regress to the past. He also finds out her name, Baek Young. He decides to go talk to her but is stopped by Shin Sua. While Shin goes to speak instead of him, Baek declares that she will kill all of them. Shin accepts the battle and goes to strike her. Meanwhile Seo feels like he should join before it gets too far. The brave fighters run away. Baek Young claims she won't kill anyone if she gets Seo, but Shin responds that she won't let her kill either way. Baek eventually overpowers Shin. She raises a sword and tries to kill her but is interrupted by another sect member. She grabs and stops him mid-punch, telling him that he's in the way. While all the other sect members yell at him to get out, they themselves are trapped behind a barrier. Seo struggles to get down and uses his sword to cut through the tree. After he finally frees himself, he falls onto a bloody scene. All of his sect members are dead, lying in their own blood. As Baek walks towards him, he doesn't seem to understand what is about to happen. He is too busy blaming himself for being too late and the unnecessary bloodshed. Baek interrupts his thoughts as she announces his name. She raises her sword but Shin stops her before anything happens. Baek asks Shin why she let everyone die for Seo Gangrim when she could have saved them all. Shin responds that it is her duty to protect any sect member right as the woman kills her. The barrier becomes undone. Seo realizes that he is too weak and will be killed, and tries to understand why Shin died instead of him. He decides to use his ability to check the corpses in the area. Even though he never used it before, he activates his power that steals destinies from corpses. After finding out that there are 421 corpses in the area, he chooses to steal every destiny. After checking for destinies that can be stolen, Seo Gangrim stole hundreds of destinies in the area. There was one condition though, that the destinies will be randomly extracted. Rapidly, Seo began gaining his former teammates' abilities. He was convinced that everyone was murdered because of him and blamed himself. Baek said to him that he has an interesting ability and to die. However, with his new powers and thirst for revenge, he decided to channel his guilt into fighting her. As they began to battle, he knew he couldn't let it end like this. His abilities activated one after the other. It became a sequence of different abilities adding on to the last one, increasing his power every second. Seo Gangrim saw that she was open, but before having the chance to inflict any damage, he accidentally hurt himself as an unfamiliar ability activated. He realized that even with hundreds of abilities he can't use them effectively with his body or weapon. His inability to take revenge irritated him as he wished he could understand the full extent of them, and then he realized he knew one perfectly. Baek Young began to speak, claiming it is pointless and that his destiny is to die. She informs him that she's been watching him for years. Seo pays her no attention though, as he tries to figure out if it's the right ability. Turns out, it is Shin's ability, Tree Leaf Method. Baek is surprised that he understands spells as well as using weapons such as swords. However, she realizes it will be difficult for him to do such spells for long, as she uses her icicle ability. He grabs a shard of ice and stabs her. As she falls to the ground, he rejoices that he killed her and got his revenge. His ability automatically detects her destiny, but he doesn't take it. Even though he knows it is all over, he realizes there is no point. Everything will always be the same. He experiences a flashback to his youth, where his destiny was said to be filled with perseverance and death. It was predicted that he will lose his parents and that his life will be full of misfortune, and it did end up like that. His parents died when he was a child. He got into accidents and everyone around him suffered. He believes that he was destined to be weak and misfortunate. And yet the people around him accepted him until they died because of him. He thinks about everything he could have done differently. He wishes he could rewind time and realizes he can. The ability he stole from Baek Young is time regression. He decides to take it and activate it. Determined to go back and make things right. He is transported back in time and ends up in a room with Shin Sua. Seo Gangrim has gone back in time before everyone died. Shin Sua and a man are on a first date looking to get a horoscope reading to see how compatible they are. Seo realizes that he is back when he sees that it's not a mask and she's really alive. He acts like nothing happened while promising to himself that things won't turn out the way they did this time. Seo asks them to write their information and notices that Shin seems uncomfortable. Recalling that she was involved with a weird guy, he decides she will know ahead this time. When Seo Gangrim reads their horoscopes, it is revealed that the man is a solid gold type while Shin is a solid wood type, a terrible match where the gold cuts the wood. The man is shocked but Shin plays it off and laughs. The prediction seems to be right as the man becomes furious and demands to see the owner, despite telling Shin that they're going. She wants to get her whole fortune told, which infuriates the man even more. He claims someone like her can't meet a man like him, and after a Seo telling him that she doesn't want to meet with him, he storms off. Shin is confused as she thought only the good parts are revealed in fortune telling, but she also thinks Seo is good and asks for a fortune reading. A blue light appears as he begins to calculate stats based on her destiny. Seo expected that but couldn't do much about the ringing and dizziness. Shin on the other hand began panicking and yelled at him to get underneath the table. Seo recalls how Shin protected him in his past life too and remembers that he decided to change the future. While Shin tries to figure out what happened, Seo leaves the room knowing it's best to not get involved with her. Looking for a good enough weapon, he goes ahead while Shin follows him, saying that they need to evacuate. Then they hear a scream. Seo yells that there are monsters and begins to run as one bites his leg. He screams for help but Shin can't help him. He then activates one of his stolen abilities and reveals that he knew they'd come. Their rank is the same as his tertiary insectal grade. Commanding everyone to get to safety, Seo kills the monsters, thinking he got all of them. Apparently there are more though, and as he panics and runs to save Shin, he sees that she killed one herself. He's surprised but tries to hide it. Someone suggests that everyone go down the stairs before more of them appear, but Seo wants to collect spirit pearls from the corpses. He sees that there are more than expected when Shin asks why he is evacuating like everyone else. Seeing that she is the same as always, too caring even to someone she just met, Seo decides to tell her. Seo Gangrim decides to confess to Shin. He begins by telling her information he knows about her. He reveals her class and ability as she tries to understand what's happening. A destiny window appears and she sees everything he told her, reminding her about the announcement. Seo explains that they all gain superpowers. He also adds that they shouldn't die as long as they don't meet that. They decide to go down. On the way down, Shin asks Seo what destiny he has, but he shuts down the question. The thing is, his destiny window is the same as it was at the beginning, and he didn't keep any of the stolen abilities. The only difference is that Seo seemed to have gained a large amount of karma. He understands that he will still use his ability to gain his goal of changing the future. But adding karma is dangerous. Karma is generally added and big crimes like murder happen or when certain abilities are used. After a certain point, the person with too much karma goes beyond the border and everyone who has gone beyond it has suffered. Shin heard someone and they saw a person fully covered. Shin wanted to help but Seo saw a monster and ran to kill it first. Luckily, it was just one. Shin wondered whether anyone was inside there and to check if they're alive. Seo used his ability. Unfortunately, they were dead. Seo noticed that the person had a good ability though, flame manipulation, and decided to steal it. He also gained karma, but it seemed to be worth it. Shin noticed something. A guy was mercilessly killing the monsters, claiming he wants to face a boss. When he noticed Shin and Seo, apparently the few survivors, he asked whether they are the characters to ally with him. After introducing himself as Dr. Gaijin, the strange man asked for the heroine's name and said that something should start soon as the ally event is over. Shin asked what he meant. To which he responded that most game introductions are based on a formula. Seeing Doc's rank, Seo realized that he will become the leader of one of the 5 great sections. The fact that he was capable of killing monsters before even awakening was strange though. Doc explained that he would either defeat a boss with allies or gain a strong ally during the battle. Apparently he was a writer but a delusional one. A man ran out screaming for help. An enormous worm came out after him. It was the boss Doc was waiting for. Shin said they have to run, but Seo wanted to test out his new ability. It wasn't enough to kill the boss though. While Seo was explaining this to Doc, the boss realized his attacks don't work and began to chase after them. Shin yelled at Seo to get over there, but Doc grabbed her and ran. With Seo not with them, it was just him against the boss. With the boss in front of him, Seo decided to stall for time. Doc decided that Seo was sacrificing himself for him. Seo was focused on staying alive until the Fate Protection Agency arrived. It surprised him that he wasn't able to do more damage and he tried to shoot fire into the monster's mouth. It didn't seem to work, but luckily Shin joined in and began to throw sticks at the boss. It only changed the boss's attention onto her though, and the boss spawned smaller monsters that came flying at her. Seo told her to activate her new ability using the wood her sticks were made from. She activated it and made it grow with the boss. Finally, they seemed to have stopped the monsters for a bit. Doc was angry though. Seo's and Shin's fate became intertwined and Shin's higher class increased Seo's ability too. His power of flame manipulation became a lot stronger. The trees Shin grew helped Seo's flames come to life and they ended up defeating the boss. While Shin celebrated, Seo just tried to recover, but at least he gained extra rewards for defeating a stronger opponent. Walking down the stairs, they try to exit the building. Only to find that there is no exit. Shin is confused, but having more experience, Seo recognizes the totem poles. Then, the door disappears. And Doc reappears. He tries to understand how they survived as it wasn't what he planned. But Shin loses her temper and yells that he is a villain. That messes with Doc's mental state as it makes sense but changes everything he's ever believed it. Meanwhile, everyone else who was there reappears. Before anyone has time to understand what is happening, the Fate Protection Agency arrives. A member introduces herself as Anna V. Cha and informs everyone that she intends to manage everyone there. An uproar of confusion and anger begins among everyone, except Seo Gangrim. He knows this is the true beginning and unlike his past life. He is determined that it will be different. The group of people demanded to know who and what was the Fate Protection Agency and what they wanted from them. The representative Anna V tried to explain that they worked to protect citizens but kept getting interrupted. Amidst the chaos, Dr. Gaijin exploded and yelled at them all to shut up. He was angry that they didn't understand the opportunity that this was. Seo silently agreed. It was a privilege to be chosen to be awakened. The representative decided it'll be easier to show them what was happening outside. Everywhere in the country the demon realm has appeared from which monsters were coming out. The Fate Protection Agency predicted that this would happen. This is why a long time ago Chaz has who awakened before everyone began preparing for this day. However, more awakened were needed, which is why everyone there was summoned. The agency would take them under their management to help them awaken and grow stronger. They could leave whenever they wanted, but should first check what their ability is. Seo Gangrim checked his ability and discovered that flame manipulation was added. He was certain it wasn't Anna V's power, but he couldn't check what hers really was due to her face being covered. Anna V explained that those who have awakened use these abilities to hunt monsters and raid the demon realm to get rid of threats. She warned them that it was very dangerous though and that they may die. The same would apply to the training process, but to avoid the danger, they would have to give up their abilities. Anna V claimed that a person who cannot fight has no use for an ability and that they have 1 hour to decide. Anna V explained where they can rest and where everyone should go depending on their decision. After the hour was up, Anna V appeared and showed the first gate. A maximum of 3 people could enter it, and if they would succeed in the raid, they would end up at the same place they started. Each room has a different approach and the first room doesn't have a limit on tries. However, Leaving before finishing would require restarting. There was also a box for each person. If injured, they could use the items to heal or alternatively, go to totem poles to heal. They would also have to sign agreements that the agency is not responsible if they die. Wishing them good luck. Anavi disappeared. Everyone began to try to form groups and Shin approached Seo. When she offered to team up though, he remembered how everyone was killed for him. And so, he refused her offer, claiming that he works best alone. After rejecting Shin's offer to team up, Seo told her she'll do well with someone else and left. She called out that she will be in his care though. After grabbing a supply box, Seo was stopped by Doc, who told him he can't leave him behind. Seo decided to pretend he didn't hear but Doc grabbed him before he could run away. Doc claimed that they might end up being the two protagonists so they should go together. Even though Seo tried to explain that he's more comfortable alone, Doc kept trying to convince him that he is strong enough and not like the others. Seo realized that Doc mistook him for being strong. After thinking for a minute, Seo decided to team up with Doc. Doc ran to get his supply box and met Shin there. He referred to her as the mascot character and when she glared at him, he asked her whether it's because she's not a hero. After grabbing the supply box, he loudly yelled to Seo, which revealed to Shin that Seo did in fact team up with someone. Seo and Doc entered the first gate, the Knife Mountain of Hell. All of the rooms there were connected to 4 hallways, where in each one there were demonic monsters, traps and safe zones. While Seo began thinking about what path to take, Doc began a monologue about how he's looking forward to it. Right before a trap activated under him, Seo walked off. After a while of walking, they got to a room filled with skeleton ghosts. Seo began by using his fire ability to kill the first few, after which Doc also joined in as he wanted the active role too. After killing 100, Doc confessed to Seo that he was getting bored with demonic monsters. He said that he learned to fight with a sword just in case he went into another world so it was too easy. Doc then revealed that there was something he was curious about since he met Seo. After being asked what it was, Doc asked him whether he was a regressor, returnee, or a reincarnator. Although hit the nail on the head, Seo brushed it off as him talking nonsense and wasting time. Doc continued though, explaining that Seo is strangely calm, quick to adapt and not afraid of monsters. Seo just said that he saw ghosts when he was younger. And before Doc had a chance to probe further, the floor under Seo broke and he fell far away from Doc. Doc ran up the stairs before he fell too. He wondered whether Seo was really who he thought, the main character. He was unsure what would happen now as he walked away. As Seo was falling, he pulled out the training sword that came in the supply box and used it to break his fall. He ended up in a secret area. A warning flashed, informing him that the monsters here are stronger than in normal areas. He was offered the option to be rescued if he gave up, but he refused. He wanted a chance to gain more stats and grow on his own. Activating his flame manipulation power, he killed a monster and gained 10 points. After a while, his strength had increased a few levels and Seo began to find things easier than before. Although everyone starts at stage 1, it was generally harder for him due to his low rank. The higher the rank someone is, the easier it is for them to level up. As Doc had been killing monsters with him and was a divine class, Seo predicted that he'd be much stronger than before. Seo was determined to get the first clear bonus and decided that he would finish by the end of the day. But first, he had to face the boss. He walked into a corridor and was greeted by the martial generals, the bosses of the Knife Mountain of Hell. Their abilities were the masters of the sword, enabling them to move as one and to regenerate themselves unless they were both killed at the same time. Seo was surprisingly nervous about facing them, but knew it'd be fine if he went along with his plan. Before he had a chance to surprise attack them though, one of them struck him first. In defense, Seo set one of them on fire. However, the second one brutally murdered the one on fire to revive him quicker. Seo decided that fighting them one-on-one was useless. And after a long sequence of him trying to outkill them before they were restored, he managed to kill one of them while the other wasn't done reviving. A notice popped up telling him he gained extra points for defeating an opponent stronger than him. Now all he had to do was exit the room. But before that, he wanted to find out something. He wondered whether the destiny of a monster taking on a human form was stealable and activated his ability. After defeating the boss, Seo wondered whether the destiny of a monster taking on a human form was stealable. He activated his ability, which informed him that there were 2 destinies in the active range he could steal. In his past life, he didn't use his ability simply because he couldn't. He lacked enough mana to steal destinies after a certain amount of time and couldn't kill anyone himself. Now though, he stole a new ability from the boss, Unsheath. It would let him increase his swordsmanship every time he took out his sword. However, he got a notice that he gained a lot of karma. He decided it was okay seeing as it was less than stealing from people. He did wonder how close he was to the border though. He left the room. Everyone nearby turned around and was shocked that it was already cleared and that he did it by himself. Doc almost jumped him, he was so happy. Seo responded that he's not his ally and he shouldn't be trusted. But was interrupted by Anavi. She congratulated him on being the first to clear the stage and gave him his rewards. In his private room he opened the inventory bag given and the Wi-Fi password that wasn't given to anyone else. After checking the news, he was surprised there were no talks about the Fate Protection Agency. He clicked on a video and tried to see the destiny of the woman speaking, but it was hidden. He realized they were using items to hide identities of everyone in the agency. The woman's voice kept playing, with her telling everyone to believe in the Fate Protection Agency. While he was thinking about how they all hide their faces with masks, he suddenly remembered the blue-haired woman who tried to kill him. He realized that she might be a part of the agency as well. At an office, Gom-ju was interrogating a room of employees. He claimed that they said it would take a week to clear, but someone managed to do it in a day, with the secret area. The fact that the person's grade was tertiary and sectal made it even worse. He yelled at Ju Sungtae to take responsibility for it by writing up a report and cleaning the traps Seo used. He commanded everyone else to prepare to clear the other monsters. After everyone left, Ju began to panic. He worried about whether Seo Gangrim would clear the second door in a day again and what would happen if higher officials knew that someone of his grade did it. Meanwhile, at the cafeteria Doc was trying to get Seo to clear the second room. Seo responded that he will go at his own pace and asked Doc to leave. Seo got distracted when he noticed Shin walking past, and when she sat down he overheard something. Some guy in her group was measuring hand sizes and asked Shin to read her palm. He kept trying to convince her, until Seo showed up. The man asked him if he also wants a reading, but he told Shin he needs something. Seo Gangrim wanted to speak to Shin alone. He was interrupted by some people grateful to him that he gave them the Wi-Fi password. Seo felt strange as it was an unfamiliar sensation to him. People always used to reject him in his previous life, and the only person to show kindness to him did it to find out his ability. The person ended up revealing it to everyone else later. Seo tried to warn Shin of Chin Gunam who tried to read her palm. After he got up to leave, she asked him whether he wanted to go to the second room together, to which he replied with an excuse. She claimed she wasn't that weak. But he explained that the attribute of the second room will be fire, making her water attribute and ability much weaker. After they parted, she couldn't understand why he tried to help her even though he refused to partner up with her. She figured that he wanted distance between them but he still warned her about Chin. She wondered whether he was worried about her. A man was waiting for Seo. He asked whether he will go with Shin, to which Seo replied that he will go alone. The man offered to help, claiming that he's dragon class when in reality he was much lower. Seo agreed. At the room of Hellfire they had to find the ice crystal. Gunam began to make small talk and mentioned that they should find it soon seeing as Seo is there.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting episodes, share with your friends and fellow manhwa fans to spread the word.